I don't know. Sunday, Monday. Da, da. Is that how that song goes, Terry?
It goes
Monday, Monday.
Monday.
Okay, so it's the right song. We need to be
Monday,
singing it. Monday, Monday, because
Monday,
it's supposed to
Monday.
be Terry Tuesday,
Yeah.
but we're recording it on Monday because I have class. So I won't fool you guys. We're not. We're in class.
Yeah.
So how are you today, Terry?
I am just feeling amazing. We've had a few days of really heavy energies with the sun, and we're just on the verge of an eclipse and stuff. But I've taken the last week and done a lot of reflecting inside and looking at a lot of things that it's been interesting just seeing what has come up. Like I stirred the pot and there's like, oh, I thought I dealt with it. But, then there's always another layer to it. And like, oh, wait a minute, because I have this fear that it's preventing me from doing what? Really? It was a very reflective week that I've had. So it's good. It's really good. I'm
Yeah.
enjoying I'm enjoying that. Like we always, if we're open to it, we can always learn and we can always make changes for ourselves. We have
Yeah.
choices. We have choices. We have choices that we can do. We can be stuck, or we can take a road less traveled and say, I'm going to try this. Even though it's not within my wheelhouse, I'm going to try something different because there's opportunities there that I may not know what they are unless I look into it.
It's so funny that you said choices because now I flash back to the cards. But also it's funny that you said that too, and it's funny these cards came up because I've been knowing that things are gonna change. Things are
Mhm.
gonna change for me. And it was like win, 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 win. This is what was, on the table for me for quite some time, knowing that, hey, you're going to hit this point and it's going to be win, win, win. All you have to do is choose. So it was like you can choose diamonds, you can choose pearls, you can choose gold, whatever it is, you're going to win, right? And so I've been trying to live with that attitude of whatever your choice is, you can't lose. What is that? What is it? Parker Lewis can't lose or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've been thinking about that, and then I have had some very serious choices coming up on what I want to do and what I don't want to do anymore. And what I do know is this: if you're going to keep second guessing yourself, it can put you in a really bad place, right? But now I'm just choosing and sticking with it. And I'm noticing I'm not feeling as guilty with even when I say what I say or do what I do, that I'm like putting myself out there like I can't lose. I won't lose. I refuse to lose. So trusting that I'm making the right decisions. And I guess that's the other part of trusting yourself. Like all this time, these cards have been telling us all the same thing for the longest time. Trust,
Yeah.
trust, 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 trust. And we but now it's like, okay, like this other built-in part of trust and you can't lose. And so I feel like operating on a different level now and being happy with my decisions and quickly not wasting time, you know?
I think we all want security. We all want to feel like, oh, okay, I'm in this nice little bubble that's safe. But the problem is it's false because anything can come along and break your bubble. But if you are somebody who is like, okay, well, I like to be comfortable. I am here. But now what happens if I expand in this way, or I expand this way, or expand this way? We take what we have with us. It's not taken away from us, but we're expanding, and we're expanding in different directions. So it's making us more flexible. But if we stay in a bubble and we're just like, oh, I don't want anything. I want security. I want this. Then that bubble can burst and then we're really stuck. But if we take our bubble and we are flexible and try and maneuver through other things, then we have more of a, um, we're expanding our abilities. And that's what the creator wants for us. Like we didn't come here just to have a cushy life. We came here to experience and explore. And so sometimes we have to step outside of our comfort zone.
It brings to mind this saying. A lot of people, they've twisted the saying to say, oh goodness, it's a saying. The original saying is act that, well, they've twisted it to fake it till you make it. I don't really like fake it till you make it because a lot of people are fake and they're pretending.
Yeah.
And so that image of being fake is mixed in there. I don't like fake it till you make it. The saying before that would have been act as if.
Yes. Right.
And this comes from say things as if they were and they will be, which was a biblical text, which is call things into being, right? Call things into existence. Oh gosh, I'm sharing the wrong screen. Wow, how do I share? I don't know how to share. Oh, present. I don't forgot how to use the thing again, Terri. I don't know. Oh, I have to do that first.
Okay.
And then I can do it. Okay. So I don't like fake it till you make it. It was in Romans, it was Romans 4:17, which was call those things which are not as though they were. So in other words, everything like people say, truth is in the power of the tongue. Say things as if they were and they will be. And, it's supposed to give you the victory, but pull back on the faking it till you make it. I just don't like that one.
Yeah.
But kind of when you lay the plan out and you say you're going to do it, act as if it's already done.
That's right. Yeah.
Right. So this is going to lead me into the cards that Terri pulled, which are here. Tell us about these cards, Terri.
Well, when I pull the cards, I ask, like, what is it that we need to know as a collective going forward in the next while? And I pull the cards from the Gratitude Oracle deck, like where we need to, gratitude is something that we sometimes don't reflect enough on. So what have we got in our life that is that we really have so much to be grateful for? And you've had breakfast today, then be grateful for that sort of thing. So as I was shuffling the cards, that my intention was like, what is it we need to know? And so these are the three cards I pulled out, which were choices and prayer and possibilities. And so we were talking a little bit about the choices. Is we have in front of us, there are a lot of choices, but a lot of times we have a tendency to hold on to making a choice based on past experiences. So we are projecting into our future based on our past or what we wanted from the past that didn't happen. So we keep making choices towards what we expected. And so sometimes we don't realize that maybe that wasn't the right choice for me at the time. Or maybe, 10 years ago, it may have been a right choice, but maybe I have to look to my left or look to my right or look up or look down instead of having a tunnel vision in one direction. So, what are the choices that you make in your life? Do you make the choice to make a choice to get out of bed in the morning? But do you make the choice to, take a 15-minute walk in the day? That's a choice, whether you do it or not. Do you make the choice to call your mom? That's a choice. So we need to look at the choices that we make, and we make a lot of choices based on what was from the past. And so ask yourself, is it time for me to start looking outside of the outside of my tunnel vision? So I think choices gives us, it asks us to reflect. And this is where the next card comes in with prayer. So prayer, we think about getting on our knees and praying, but prayer is more than that. It's having that communion with our higher self, with the universe, with God, whoever you want. But it's having that conversation, and it's being in that meditative state, and it's a time of reflection. And it's not only like, oh, please God, let me win the lottery. It's not only that. It's about reflecting about all the things that we have done, and how we're living, and what is it that we want to see in the future, not only for ourselves, but for our families, for our community, for our countries. Like, how do we approach that? Because, if we're all one, then what I think, what I do is going to affect the whole and will affect the outcome of things. So sometimes we need to look at prayer as something that we can take and reflect upon things. And so I don't know if you want to add anything. I brought those two together before we go on to the next one.
Well, that part of the brain, it really wants us to survive. So based on our past mistakes or based on past decisions, it keeps bringing this up, that undercurrent of survival. And so it's not going to allow us to face new challenges. So I just remember even reading about that. The limbic brain, the emotional brain, the part of the brain that, okay, wait a minute, it's a different. So they talk about your neocortex and different parts of the brain that stop you from going forward because it's almost, you want to say reptile brain, but it's I believe it's the neocortex, the big old brain, always reaching for the stars, so to speak. No, it's not that part. But it can suck us into patterns of just doing the same thing. Oh, okay. I'm just going to read this because it comes from the book, The Seven-Figure Goddess. It says this conflict between our higher mind and our neocortex and our lower brain or lizard brain, the brain stem, keeps us in that constant tug of war. One part pushing you to go live your best life, and then the other part trying to keep you in survival. And so it's constantly forcing you to pump your brakes. I just thought that was the coolest thing, because once we begin to understand why we're doing things, then we can put it in the frame of mind and say, oh, let me stop. Like, knowledge of a thing gives us power over it type thing. So this is it. You dreaming big, but you're always pulling yourself back.
Well, and I think we can go back. I mean, I was telling you, this last week I was reflecting, and I was drawing cells, and I was taking my fears and putting them onto paper and then connecting them. But that's, by doing that, I was creating new neural pathways, because fear keeps us into these stoic places. And so we have to, how do we break free of that? And part of it is the patterning within the brain, because the synapses are just automatically going to go this way. So we've got to create something new. And, part of the problems that we all face is part of the subconscious belief system. And so it's been programmed into us. And it's not only my beliefs, but it's my ancestral beliefs. It's my community beliefs. And so these, okay, maybe I don't have that fear per se, but gee whiz, my grandparents did, the rest of the people in my community did. So, I've got it surrounded by me. And so I've already come in with a lot of these preconceived ideas because they're in my energy field. And now I've got to fight really hard to break free of those. and those patterns are coming in because of what's been said by my parents, by my grandparents, by my community. Oh, you can't have this, you can't do this, you can't do that. And so it's like you have a whole mindset, and it's like it's taken me these many years to stop and say, wait a minute. Wait a minute, like the universe, like, work with me, let me come through with being able to break through some of this stuff.
Yeah. Collective beliefs, historic, and then you hit that magical button that I guess they call that now. There's a whole study on that, epigenetics, right?
Yeah,
How
yeah,
the fears of your parents and the fears of your grandparents can actually affect you.
yeah.
So the next one you have is
And the
prayer.
last one is the possibilities, because with possibilities, when we can look at, take a step back and realize that there are possibilities outside of just this narrow tunnel that we have. We have choices that we can make. We don't have to make radical choices, but there's possibilities there. And so maybe you're somebody who wants to include start an exercise program. And yeah, running the marathon is not necessarily what you want to do. Maybe it's, if you have a set of stairs, maybe it's taking 2 minutes and running up and down the stairs to get yourself into it, getting yourself into routine. That's a choice, and it's a possibility. You don't have to go really to an extreme. You can start to expand your bubble by doing things that you wouldn't normally do. There's possibilities for it, like for supper tonight, instead of going to Chick-fil-A, maybe you're going to go to the store and buy a salad and make a salad, because you're going to start to eat in a different way. You look at the possibilities that you have, and instead of taking the route that you've always taken, is maybe expand those possibilities. And when we do that, we open up to more, and we start to live a fuller life.
Right. I'm liking these pictures too, because like in prayer, it's like sometimes we feel like we have to do it all and we have to save ourselves. And it's
Yeah.
like we can open up to getting help from our higher powers,
Mhm.
that surround us, our guides and our angels and our, the source. So, there's eyes on you.
Yeah.
Look, no one would think the mermaid, when he fell off the ship, would come and save him.
Right.
But out of nowhere, from the unseen and the unknown, they found help. And just like you were saying about that box, like you think you're going to do things one way and you got this box in your mind of this is how it has to be done. But opening up the box, all kinds of possibilities came out. So these are just things to think about. You
Mm.
know, there's endless possibilities that you don't see, but you have
Yeah.
to let the walls down, let the box down. I know I had my mind dead set, like I knew I'm going to get this particular thing. And then one person came along and I was like, it says I'm going to get the thing. And is it supposed to be from this person? But it didn't feel like it was supposed to come from there. And then I was like, I'm not comfortable with this. And I opened up the door to be like, well, I'm going to get it from somewhere else and not the way that everybody thinks it should look or
Mm.
the way that everybody thinks it should be done. But I'm going to get my need met, through this whole other possibility and being open for it rather than forcing myself through this rigid direction, which really wasn't satisfying to me. It really wasn't comfortable or satisfying to me. And so, I was, I had to be able to be confident that this wasn't going to be the way for me. This was going to be not taken from this person, but from this whole other avenue that this was going to come about. I think sometimes we really do limit ourselves because maybe we don't like, certain ideas or certain avenues. And so we block ourselves by saying we don't want it that way, we don't want it. But then if we're relaxed and we could see the possibilities of, wow, these, I don't like iPhone. You know what I mean? But darn it, I got this from, like, we have like these little prejudices, but
Yeah.
we're there's just things where we can just relax and open up to just these new possibilities.
Yeah, and yeah, instead of projecting how we think should happen, like take a step back and say, "Oh, there's a possibility here." Like, "Oh, I never thought about that." Okay. And sometimes, we have people that come into our lives and say to us, "Oh, did you think about this?" And it's like, uh, no, I never thought about that. So sometimes, we have people that come in and they show us different possibilities, but sometimes we get to be like, so they have blinders on, that this is
Yeah.
the way it has to be. Like, I think the universe is just asking us to look and say, be more flexible. There's going to be choices. We're going to have to make, like choices. We're always going to have to make choices. And so take a moment to look at the choices, pray about the choices, just like I can take, yeah, I shouldn't use that example. I should, and I'm not going to use that example. It was a medical example, but you know what? We have choice. We had choices, and people didn't necessarily look at the choices and what were the possibilities from those choices, right?
I think you still could use that, because a lot of people who made that particular choice were counted down and out, and they're not. If something is meant for you, it's
yeah,
going to be on that path regardless. Because I know people who detox. I know people who sweated it out. I swear, I looked at my neighbor. He was coughing and had a lot going on. He was losing weight, and all of a sudden he started on his own, just by nature. He started chewing ginger and eating garlic, and I know he detoxed himself.
yeah.
He got more fit, and his mindset's different. And 4 years ago, the things that we would be scared to talk about, we are able to talk about. So I would say you can talk about that choice. That choice. It's
That was a
amazing.
choice, yeah. And at the time there were no the possibilities, like we were limited possibilities, like you can either you take it or you don't, and your life is going to be hell if you don't take it. So a lot of people chose based on what was given, what was presented. Now they see like there were repercussions for it, but I still have possibilities of overcoming those, that particular
Right.
choice. There's always something, if we're open to it, and it may be more radical. That means I've got, not, I don't, but maybe I do. But like there's opportunities to change the choices that you've made. You can still make other choices. There are other possibilities. So you have to be open to exploring, instead of, it's not always going to be right in front of you. You have to explore. And so the universe is saying to us, explore, pray, pray. And prayer, a lot of people take it for that religious purpose, but this is beyond the religious part of it.
I
This
think
is
it's speaking
it's
almost
communing with,
affirmation like. Yeah.
yeah, it's communing with a higher spirit, with your higher spirit, with your soul. And that's where the possibilities come out.
Right. And there's another, yeah, it just takes me to that saying, what's meant for you cannot be taken, right? By
Yeah,
divine right. What
yeah,
they say, if God is for you, who can be against you? And if people don't like that, if the creator, if the universe is in your favor, then you're
yeah,
gonna win. You're gonna win.
right.
There's always something. Lemony snickets.
Yeah.
Man, I could just go through so many just different sayings where you
But
just, if something is meant for.
it's interesting because we have in front of us literature, fiction, nonfiction, people who have written thousands and thousands of books and volumes, and we read these things. But how many of us actually take the information that's been given us and actually use it? Like, it doesn't matter whether a character is fiction or not, they've overcome challenges. And we can admire that character for overcoming the challenge. We have the same medal as they do. We can do it just as well as they do, but it's always someone else instead of us. And why? And the choice now is like, why someone else? Why not me? I can do it.
Oh yeah, why not me?
Yeah.
Why not me?
Yeah.
If not me, then who?
Yeah.
Who's better than me? Who's better
That's
than
right.
me?
Why not me?
Why not me? Yeah. Well, definitely some things to think about, and I'm so glad we're not going to miss our Tuesday.
I am too.
I don't know why I didn't think of that earlier, but anyway.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because I was supposed to be in class today, so class got canceled.
Yeah. So
be it.
yeah. So I will go on Telegram around 11:30ish. Or that's Central Time. On Eastern Time, about 12:30, I'll be on Telegram for about an hour or so. So if anybody wants to read,
yeah, we better show.
Yeah.
Where's the a banner? Is it banner? Yeah. So Terri will be there. I will be in class. Class dismissed.
And happy
full moon, right?
Full moon and eclipse, and it's going to be we're going to see what happens over the next promises to be an interesting time astrologically.
I would like to know, are the eclipses limited to full moons?
Well, there's a eclipse at the full moon, and then there's the one on the new moon.
Oh, there is a new moon, such a new moon eclipse. That's so interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting, the placement that it can't be done. Okay. Wow. Mm-hmm. Strange to me. Well, we're going to get flued out. So
all right, we'll be flued out. So
flued out.
Have a wonderful week, everyone.
Bye.